So today we're going to be talking about Sigma's new 24-70 f2.8 Art Series lens. Let's check it out. So I've had the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 for a couple of months now. I was lucky enough to be one of the individuals who got it early on. So I've been able to use it on quite a few different occasions for both video and photography work. And I can say that I am very pleased with this lens all the way around. From its build quality to the image that it produces, it has a very premium feel to it. And speaking of premium feel, it is a metal body construction. It comes in at weighing just over 1.8 pounds. I want to say that even the zoom tube is metal. It sounds like metal, it feels like metal. I just don't know for sure that it is, so I don't want to tell you that it is. If you do know that it is, let me know down in the comment section below. But either way, it has a very good feel to it. 1.8 pounds might sound like a lot to some people, but it's really not too much for me. I am a Panasonic S1 user, which is already a larger camera, so really it just kind of fits very well on my camera. As a matter of fact, if you are upgrading from the kit lens on the S1, you'll be happy to know it's pretty much the same size. Just this one weighs a little bit more because it's made of metal, where the kit lens is made out of plastic. But other than that, you're not really going to notice much of a difference, and it's really not that much more weight-wise when it comes to real-world use. The bayonet is a brass bayonet that comes in both the E and the L mount. It is weather sealed, so it fits nicely with the weather sealing on my S1. I don't have to worry about dust or moisture getting on my sensor and damaging my camera. The front filter size is an 82mm, and that is pretty large, but that is to cover that large, nice piece of glass there in the front. That glass is nano coated, and that's to help prevent flares, so sun flares or light flares. If flares are an issue for you, that might be a tremendous help for you. And speaking of glass, this camera, or this lens, produces a very nice image. Recently I went and did some cityscape photos for a client, and I was very pleased with the way those images came out. I liked them enough to where, I printed one of them out as a poster size print to put in my studio because I like the image. Video wise, it performs just as well. Focusing, the focus ring is very smooth. You can see how easy I can just spin this lens. I mean, that has a very premium feel to it. And some people, when I hinted about reviewing this lens, did ask me to do some autofocus testing, and I did do that for you guys. I did some autofocus testing for both stills and for video. For stills, all I did was set up a few items and go back and forth taking photos of them and having the camera autofocus on each one of them, so that way you could see how fast the autofocus does a lock onto the image. And I also did the autofocus test on continuous autofocus for video with those same items. I just panned back and forth, and I can say the autofocus is quite fast. It's not as fast as at the continuous autofocus as it is on the photo, but that's more an issue with Panasonic. This lens comes in both the E mount and the L mount, so if you are a Sony user, you will be very pleased with the way the autofocus works on this. Sony's autofocus is just leaps and bounds above Panasonic's, and so you will have no issues with this. This is very quiet, very smooth, and very fast. It's a DN lens for Sigma, which means it's designed natively for mirrorless cameras, and so it's very quiet. You don't hear those motors running, not like my 85 or my 35. You can hear those when you're doing video. But even on Panasonic, it performs well. If you are a Sony user, it's going to perform all that much better. And speaking of autofocus, the autofocus has the typical on-off switch that most of Sigma's art lines has. It also has a button here for autofocus lock. For Panasonic, I don't know about for Sony, but for Panasonic, you can program that to do just about anything you want to on the camera. So if you have some kind of function that you use on a regular basis, you can program that to turn things on and off. I was pretty excited about having that when I ordered this lens. I thought it was going to be something that I would use quite often. I like to back button focus, and I like to, you know, turn on my histogram, waveform, stuff like that. And so I figured I would program this for that. But honestly, I don't use it as much as I thought, just because the way I hold the camera, the position that it's in is kind of awkward for me. It just doesn't feel natural to have to reach down to press that button. So depending on how you hold the camera, it might work very well for you, and you might enjoy that quite a bit. It also has the zoom ring here, which has a lock button. That's a pretty cool feature. You know, on the kit lens, I would lock the lens just so that way, you know, it's not coming out in your bag or anything like that. But I would leave the lock button locked all the time and forget it when I go to use it. But this one has a pretty cool override feature to where you just, you know, start to zoom it out and it automatically disengages that lock. So it's not going to open up in your bag, but it's not going to prevent you from getting your shot either. So it also has this pretty cool lens hood that actually has like a locking button on it, and I think that's pretty cool because some of Sigma's older lens hoods would just kind of flop around on the lens, but this one you have to actually push that button in order to release it. The zoom ring does feel a little bit on the stiff side. You know, I do wish that it was a little bit looser, but at the same time, this is a pretty new lens and I don't zoom in and out all the time. So I'm sure that's probably going to, you know, loosen up over time and probably feel a little bit better. But other than that, that's pretty much it for my review on this lens. If you have any kind of questions or comments, I hope I helped you guys. You know, if you are looking into getting this lens, I hope I helped give you enough information to know whether this lens is going to work for you or not. If you found this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up. Again, any questions or anything like that, let me know down in the comment section. If you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below, as well as that bell for notifications. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.